Give you a very rough estimate of what kind of cost and
No, I don't
project we're
mean,
talking about?
well, I mean actually just to talk about it in detail, on what it would look like if you have a sketch you can share with us, and so we can see exactly where it is.
As I say, the sketch actually had it on the other side of the road, but I can get you some quick numbers for the next meeting and an estimated cost of doing something.
I would advise heavily that it be on the side of the basin. It's less
Yeah.
connected to the ones that are going to that bus stop. It doesn't make sense for them to cross a road where it just doesn't make sense.
I don't disagree at all.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the advantage of a resident of that community when we talk about that.
Right.
Do you want to discuss it at the next meeting or at the next work session?
Well, when would it be ready? That's discussed.
Well, just to give you a ballpark cost, it is a matter of driving by, seeing what's out there, looking at pen bid for current rates, and giving you a number based on like that. That I could
And a
do for the
basic
next meeting.
picture.
So I can give you a basic picture. of the
Just
map.
draw, just draw with the sidewalk.
Right, exactly. I can do that for the next week.
So Kevin, can you add that to the agenda for next week?
That's the sidewalk at Goshen and Groom Lake.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. And can we also ask the police to, when they have time to do a traffic study there at that corner?
Yeah. Just a real quick question, Dan or Pratt's Road. What, does the township have littering ordinances? What are required in order to, on our street, there's beer cans. I can pick up beer cans every week. So I just, somebody's thirsty and they drink a really Keystone Light, so I gotta find out.
They dump mattresses and televisions on our road.
So the question is, do we have a littering ordinance? What, is there a big fine involved with it, and what's necessary to,
I think you have to catch them in the act.
well, I mean, if you take I can take a picture of them with the beer can, this.
It doesn't work that way.
neighbor.
I've tried to do that with the police here, and they won't use that as evidence.
Okay, so irrespective of how we get evidence, just curious if we have a littering ordinance, because,
I guess we'd have to look into that.
yeah. I mean,
I can't
it's
say
not
for
just
sure.
our street, I mean, it seems to be,
It's everywhere.
especially, yeah.
I mean, there's a littering fine
Maybe
in
we
the
can
state of
have, maybe we can have the
Pennsylvania.
EAC.
I think that's the first assignment for the EAC is to gather up all the aluminum that's on the side.
No, it's your cans.
We put a trash can out there so that they would put it in the trash can.
Yeah, I was gonna give them the targets, but,
I took the trash can.
Al, you took the trash can? All right, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, yes.
Phil Smith, and I guess this is a request. Our township has a 3-year maintenance cycle for on-site septic systems to be pumped down, and of course at that time the provider must submit a report to the township. So I think it would be wise, as we talk about the sewering of various areas, to get a bit of data for the planning commission, for the township supervisors, to see how those reports mesh with hearsay about systems that might be in jeopardy or failing, because then you have a professional that has evaluated that particular lot and submitted a report, and that data I'm sure would be valuable to the conversation about the potential for failing systems jeopardizing a particular area of our township. So it may be just that we're best served at this moment talking about the area up around the Melbourne Hill tract, but I think that data would be very valuable to understanding what those on-site systems are actually doing currently. And it's best probably look that we have at this time rather than just hearsay information.
So those reports, it's a great concept, I like the idea, but unfortunately, those reports don't do what you're hoping that they do. The guy that comes and takes the lid off the tank and sucks it into the honey dupper, he's looking down and he says, the baffles are in place, I pumped the system, I didn't observe any problems with the tank, check, 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 and off he goes. He's not evaluating the absorption field per se.
But he does look for suspect leaks, wet lawns, green grass.
It's
It's
not
on
his
the form,
job.
yes.
Wow.
It is
It's
on
not
the
his
form.
job. His
Brian
job
will
is
let
to
him
pump
do
the
it, I'll
tank and
tell you
make
that.
sure the tanks are pumped.
Yeah, all I was asked
Then why
for,
does the form
was a
have that
receipt.
information listed as a checkoff on that form?
I never saw that
What
form.
you're thinking, I guess.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
form that you're
I'm
given
just-
has that as information that the provider is supposed to report to the
Yeah,
township.
the guy who's filling out that form is the guy who runs the pump truck. It's not necessarily an environmental scientist or an SEO or somebody that would be properly educated to perform an evaluation of that system. They are really just pumping out the tank and confirming that the baffles are in place and that they don't see anything obvious, but it's not necessarily somebody with the qualifications to evaluate the condition of that system. And frankly, I don't know that it would be beneficial to their business to do that.
Yeah.
Is that a good way of saying that? But I like the idea, I wish it could happen that way.
And
Linda Jansen, Simmons Road. I know we all want to get out of here, so just one quick update on the centennial anniversary celebration. We met again just last week, second time, things are moving along, we're working out logistics. One of the ideas that they have, and I believe this is going to be a giveaway, they have the Upper Frederick logo and our logo. And the Auntie's Farmstead does this when they do their Gashahoffen days, but they usually do these wooden nickels with it. The idea now, we're thinking as a commemorative item for people that attend, it'll be slightly larger than $50. It may be made out of metal. And one side will have the Upper Frederick logo, and the other side will have the Lower Frederick logo. What's very funny, I never knew what their logo looked like. They also have a bridge. Their logo is almost identical to ours, just minus the dogwood blossoms. And we also have the Lower Frederick Parks Board, Pam Reich was kind enough to be tasked with, she is going to look into rates for the trolleys, because we're going to do a historical trolley tour of both townships. I was tasked with developing a route to try to incorporate as many of the historical or significant things. It doesn't even have to be historical. It could be our parks, buildings, ASA, preserved farms. So that route wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, because now you're dealing with a township that's, like 7 miles long and 5 miles wide. But I was able to get it down to about 45 minutes. And so we're hoping, since the event's going to run from 10 to 3, we're hoping to at least have maybe 5 trolley rides available to the people. And again, it's just each time we meet, more things get done, and it's just all falling into place.
And when is that, Linda?
I believe it's September 28th or 29th of 2019. And also that would be, I believe it was decided at the last Parks Board meeting, that it will be, just for next year, it'll be replacing our fall festival that we usually have in the park.
I just wanted to ask you one favor, Linda, since this is probably a more general interest. In future, could you make these reports at our larger meeting?
I could if I was going to be in attendance, Marla, but I am unable to be, I'm probably unable to be in attendance on Wednesday, so this is why I'm bringing it up now.
Thank you, but I'm just
But
saying
I
that
will,
in
if
future, I
I'm
think the
able to
larger
come,
audience
if I'm
would
able to
find
come
it
on
useful.
Wednesday, of course I will. One last thing, the one gal connected with the Frederick Living, she was tasked with developing a Facebook page for the event. It's up. It has absolutely no content yet, but it's the 100-year, I think it's the name of the page. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know. I think it's the 100-year anniversary of Upper and Lower Frederick. So you could probably, for you Facebookers out there, you could probably find the information you need.
Call Mark and ask him.
What?
Call Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, Zuckerberg, yeah, so anyway, so that's, and any other additional updates that I can give, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Should we maybe put a link to that on our website, a link to the Facebook page? Would that be a good idea? Let's do that.
Well, not quite yet, because there's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
on
little
Well,
it.
there's
Yeah.
nothing, I wrote a little historical blurb about the founding of our township in 1731. If time allows, I was hoping to give them just like a little blurb and like historical pictures, like maybe weekly. It'll help to promote the event and drum up, I think, community support. And if anybody else, has access to Facebook, wants to post Lower Frederick or Upper Frederick historical information, that would be great too. And
Okay.
really sounds nice. And they do a lot more than we do.
Okay.
Thank you.
They have like rock climbing walls, and I mean the kids are gonna love it. Because we're saying, hey, we usually do a hay ride and have a moon bounce, and then they started kind of laughing at us again. Reich and I are looking at each other. It's like, oh God, we're like the red-haired stepchildren here. Anyway, because,
Okay.
Thank you.
so that's great.
Motion to adjourn?
No more questions?
I'll move.
All in favor?
Aye. And we all need to move.